The Buffalo Braves. That's how the Clippers' story began, way back in 1970. They were an expansion team. The Braves had some decent years in Buffalo. They even made the playoffs 3 times. Coach Jack Ramsey and star player Bob McAdoo led those teams. In 1978, the Braves moved west and became the San Diego Clippers. San Diego was sunny, but the winds didn't follow. The Clippers struggled. They had a revolving door of coaches and players. But some names stand out. World B. Free brought his scoring flair. Terry Cummings was a young star. The Clippers relocated to Los Angeles in 1984. They shared the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum with the Lakers. They were still looking for their identity. They drafted Danny Manning first overall in 1988. Manning showed promise. However, injuries hampered his career. The Clippers were still searching for consistent success. The 90s were a rough time for the franchise. They were known more for their losses than their wins. But a new millennium was coming, and with it, a glimmer of hope. The 2000s started with a bang. The Clippers drafted power forward Blake Griffin. Griffin was a high-flying, highlight reel machine. He quickly became the face of the franchise. Chris Paul arrived in Los Angeles a few years later. CP3 was already a star point guard. The Clippers paired Paul with Griffin. They were an electrifying duo. They became known as Lob City for their alley-oop dunks. DeAndre Jordan joined the party as the team center. The Clippers were contenders. They made the playoffs 5 straight seasons. In 2013 and 2014, they won their first division titles. Doc Rivers came in as head coach. He brought championship experience from his time with the Boston Celtics. The Clippers were close to breaking through, but they could never quite get over the hump. They suffered some tough playoff losses. The Lob City era ended in 2017. Paul was traded to the Houston Rockets. Griffin went to the Detroit Pistons the following year. The Clippers were moving in a new direction. Little did anyone know, a new era of dominance was about to begin. The Clippers had a plan. They were quietly building through the draft. They were also clearing cap space. In 2019, they made their move. Kawhi Leonard was the biggest free agent on the market. Leonard had just won a championship with the Toronto Raptors. The Clippers traded for Paul George to pair with Leonard. George was a star in his own right. He was coming off an MVP caliber season with the Oklahoma City Thunder. The Clippers were instant contenders again. The Leonard and George era began with high expectations. The Clippers were expected to compete for a championship. They had 2 of the best two-way players in the league. They also had a deep and talented roster. In the 2021 playoffs, the Clippers made history. They reached the Western Conference Finals for the first time ever. Their journey wasn't easy. They faced adversity along the way. Injuries played a role in their playoff run. Despite the challenges, the Clippers showed their resilience. They proved they were a force to be reckoned with. The Clippers are hungry for a championship. The Clippers share Los Angeles with the Lakers. This rivalry has been heating up in recent years. The Lakers have a storied history. They have 17 championships to their name. The Clippers were always seen as the little brother. They were in the Lakers' shadow for so long, but the tides are turning. The Clippers have become a legitimate threat to the Lakers' throne. Both teams have championship aspirations. They both have star-studded rosters. The Clippers have something to prove. They want to establish their own legacy in Los Angeles. The battle for Los Angeles is on. The Clippers are ready to take on the challenge. They are determined to bring a championship to Clipper Nation. The future is bright for the Clippers. They have the pieces in place to compete for years to come. The Clippers are no longer the underdogs. They are here to stay.